Hey, hello, good morning all. It is snowing in Wales. You all know, it hardly snows here. Hardly at all. I think last time it was like this was like 4 years ago. You know, lucky to get snow once every 4 years or something. But look, it's been snowing since last night, 8 hours in the morning. I looked out the window at 4 o'clock. So my daughter was up screaming for her TV, like always. And I looked out the window and I was like, oh my god. I know it was supposed to be snowing, but I didn't think it would. So I thought, take you out on my little walk of snow. I am going to have a little walk around and go to the shops and go home then and get the kids something to eat. Something nice to eat. Because we're like stuck in. And yeah. So it's a nice day. I haven't really been posting much lately as my partner's been really ill, and basically if he doesn't help with his diet, obviously the diet will keep him, healthy diet will keep him alive longer, but you know, if he carries on eating unhealthy, he's probably going to be dead by next year because his blood pressure is really, really high. It's not just his blood pressure, he's got loads of stuff wrong with him, and we're waiting for an operation. So he's been stressing me out big time. I actually broke up with him, but got back to him with him the next day, not because anything's wrong, it's just because he was skipping his blood pressure tablets and his other tablets what he should be taking, not taking them by purpose. He's just sort of give up because he's just not, he can't taste and smell, so it's really hard for him to eat healthy. And so basically, yeah, so he's been eating healthy all week, and we just need to keep that up with him eating healthy. If he eats healthy, it'll keep his blood pressure down, because he's really at high risk of having a stroke or a heart attack. And he's only 30, he's younger than me. I'm like 5.5 years older than him. But oh, look how lovely it looks out here. Also, I've been having problems with the kids, the schools and all sorts. Let me have a look out here. I thought I'd go on this lovely walk, have a little chat, as I haven't really been doing much. I am going to try and do more. Look at that. It is raining now, but spitting. Really, it's a bit mixed with rain and snow. So I don't know how long this snow is going to last. But also, daughter's doing half days in school. They're struggling to keep her in after lunch. It is obviously, she's still on the waiting list to be seen for loads of stuff. But obviously, she's just not getting the right help, and now we have to wait for like the OT or something, which is a 6 months waiting list. I can't exactly go private, because if you do, they only accept certain people, you know, otherwise it won't go to the local authorities and stuff, so which is annoying. Plus Tom's out at work at the moment. Well, he's got a job, he's on sick, but they've just dismissed him because obviously it's been so many months. But they said once he's better, he's got that job, he's guaranteed to have a job to come back to. He's really poorly. Hopefully he's got operation in April, so I'm hoping that operation will help a lot. It might even help with his blood pressure as well, you know. And I think they need to up the dose of his blood pressure because it's still in the 166 area, even with medication. And if it goes to 180, it's that's stroke level heart attack. And he'll end up with a disability, which I don't want. So we're trying our hardest to eat healthy all the time. We're too taking the kids to McDonald's and stuff, but we're just having like a coffee or a drink and the kids eat, and then we have something healthy. He's been eating healthy all week, so I'm really proud of him at the moment. Which is good. But obviously, yeah, with Demi, and then obviously Timmy, he's been having problems as well. He gets on a bus to go to school, but it's a special bus. Oh, it goes to your house and drops you off and picks you up from your house. And they have a special teacher on there as well, but it's mixed with all different ages, so from 16-year-olds to like 4 or 5-year-olds. But the problem is, there's a boy on the bus who is 14 years old. Timmy's 7. This boy's big for his age, and I witnessed him as Timmy was getting off the bus, kick him in the bus, but hit him and kicked him in the back full force and landed on him. This boy is massive. He's way bigger than me, and he's big built as well. Timmy's only small, as you can see. He might be 7. He'll be 8 soon, but he's still in 5 to 6 clothes and 6 to 7. It's a bit of a mix now he's in, because he's fitting in the 6 to 7 now, but he is small for his age. And then, and I promised that they weren't going to be sat by each other again, and Timmy was going to be by their teacher. Then, basically, weeks later, Timmy's got strangled by the same boy. He had a bruise on his neck, and he strangled him. I didn't know this until Timmy came in the house, and he said he was being bullied. I said, well, what happened? And he said, he strangled me. In little words, Timmy's not saying full sentences at the moment. So it's in really little words he's saying this stuff. And trying to do what he's on it, he had a big mark on him, on his neck. Like bubbled up and a mark and all red, or his neck was red. Next day it was a bit of a bruise, you know, like a pinch bruise or whatever. So this boy's 14 years old, yeah, and it's just a bit, wait a minute, if he's violent on the bus, then should he not be on the bus with other kids? Especially the kids in primary school, do you get what I mean? Even in infants, and you've got infants and juniors. Timmy's only, what's it called? But, oh, it's so wet here. It's so wet here. But, let me see where I'm going. I'll go up this way. Oh, go this way. There's loads of people about. So, and then Monday, or was it Tuesday? Monday. I didn't take him in to go Monday because he was sick on the Sunday. I think it was because he was running on like crazy. Timmy never sits down, Lucy. He's always running about. You know, you gotta get him to sit down for long. And so yeah. And so what it is, so Tuesday I sent him in as going on the bus, and then he sat him right on his high chair, right next to that boy, same seat, you know, it's like there's 2 seats of 2, like all going along, and that boy, he goes, yeah, I ain't got nowhere else to put him, even though it's like a bus of like 16, 17 kids and nowhere to put that. Why does my kid have to go next to him when we've been having problems, especially the age difference? So they were like, oh, this is a bit muddy here. See, it's getting a bit wet. Oh, so basically, this 14-year-old boy, and I was like, and then I started crying and went off the bus with Timmy because I felt a bit, wait a minute, like, he's betrayed my trust, because time and time they promised me they won't put him. Timmy will be sitting next to the teacher, and that boy will be at the back of the bus and Timmy will be at the front, right? Even the day before I asked the teacher that, they promised don't worry about it, because I was a bit nervous of him going back on the bus. Even so, the teacher, he's a good teacher. To have that many special needs kids on the bus with only one teacher and then a driver, I think it's a bit too much. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, you put my kid there. He got me to go back on the bus and said I can go in a different seat by another boy, which is a year older than Timmy. I know that boy, and he is a nice boy. So basically, but he was like a boy. He was the seat behind that other boy was. Problem is, that boy wants his seat to himself all the time, so he kicks off, and he was grabbing Timmy's car seat, trying to grab it to Timmy. All I could see, he was trying to grab it, but the teacher sat by this 14-year-old kid, and he was punching the teacher like crazy and hitting him because he wants that seat to himself. You know what I mean? And I'm like, Timmy's a few times saying he's been bullied, but haven't been able to tell me. And I was like, oh. And he told me he hurt him, like the boy hurt Timmy. And I was like, where? And he couldn't tell me. And then he pointed to it with his neck. And then he said, he strangled me. Timmy finds it very hard to get his words out because he's only just learning. Bear in mind, he's like, learning wise, he's like a 2-year-old. Timmy is. But he's doing really well with his speech. His words are coming out, and we're starting to have a conversation. You know, so it's really good. But I'm wondering, how many times has he sat this boy by Timmy, and Timmy's got hurt more than that 2 times. So basically, I do not want that boy on the same bus of my boy. First, I was like, I need to change buses, and I'm like, oh, why could I change the bus? Why should the boy be on a different bus? Usually, the boy should be in just a taxi and going in on taxi on his own if a boy's violent. But you can't. That shouldn't have happened, even if it was a boy of Timmy's age hitting Timmy. But that boy's like a man's size. So I'm really worried that something like that happens again. My boy will end up, being seriously injured or killed. It's possible. Do you get what I mean? And Timmy talks a lot now. It's usually the same words. And it's usually, he repeats stuff what he hears on YouTube. So it's like you're having a conversation, but it's like he's echoing his conversation, what he's heard on YouTube. So when he responds, do you get what I mean? With stuff like easy stuff. That's how he's learned to talk. I didn't think he'll get this far with his talking. So I was like, Tuesday, I was like, he's not getting on that bus again, because I let him go on that bus, and the journey was okay going home, but it's like, what, in a month's time are you going to forget and then put him right next to the boy again? And that boy takes his seatbelt off and runs around the bus, obviously, because that's what he did to kick Timmy in the back. He's not keeping his seatbelt on, you see, either, which can be really, really dangerous. I had a coffee there. So I'm a bit worried with that. So I my partner was like, you just need to ring him up, not go in. I'm like, no, you need to go in to like see him, because I've done all this on the phone and I haven't got nowhere. So he wouldn't give me a lift, because I wanted a lift on Friday to get him home, but he wouldn't. So I went on a public bus with Timmy. Oh, sorry. I went on a public bus with Timmy. Obviously, I had to leave earlier, get all the way to the school, which took hours, by the way, and then walk to the school, which is really hard to do with Timmy because it's hard to get him to walk in the direction you want to sometimes. And got to the school and I asked to speak to the head teacher because I wanted this clear, because this is a bit of neglect going on, I think, as well, on both parties. It's safeguarded or whatever they call it. I think it used to be like POVA. You need to make sure they're safe, not put them into danger. And so I said to the teacher, I told him what happened, 2 different occasions, what I know of. Other occasions I said, Tim said he's been bullied, but this time we didn't know the boy's name. Timmy didn't know the boy's name. And when I said all this and said, oh, who's the boy? And he didn't, even though she should have known about it, about the complaints, she didn't know who the boy was. So obviously the parents don't know. And obviously the teachers don't know about the situation. Obviously this boy's 15, he's got special needs as well, but he understands a lot more than Timmy. And obviously he can talk a lot better. He's 14, but I think he's 15 this year. Timmy's 7 and Timmy's 8 this year. Okay, it's a bit rainy now, like normal rain. I think we're going to lose the snow, so get it when it's head. So basically, so I've been panicking, and I was like, I'm not comfortable. I want that boy. Can that boy not be in school? Not get the bus until they sort the transport. I have to wait until today. Wait a minute. I have to wait until today about what's it called? Oh, I have to wait until today about talking to the public transport people, because until you made a complaint to them, which I did already, then the school can investigate and stuff. But I'm like, it's just a nightmare. So I've said I can't go on the bus, because I went on the bus, took Timmy to school, but because the buses are like every hour or 2 to get back to where I live, and sometimes they don't show up, I won't guarantee to get if I got the bus home, I would, I'd get home, but then I have to get the next bus to go straight away. I would have half an hour at home. So I went in the nearest town, walked around, and the nearest hospital, and go in the calf and stuff. Just walked around all day. I think I did like 25,000 steps. But my stepper is, when I do the stepper and the walk with the map, the walking map says I've done more steps, which is more accurate. But my stepper says I've done 1/3 less than I have, so I probably did more like 30,000 steps that day. And then I picked him up from school and then got the bus home. But we went to the calf and went to the hospital to go to the toilet, and then got the bus home. We just missed the bus, so it was a lot. And I finally got home, and I said I won't be able to take him to school. So he's missing school, even though another boy has attacked Timmy and stuff, and they can't keep them away from each other. So, and what shocks me, this boy is in high school, big and known and being violent. Timmy's in the middle of primary school. He's in year 3 now. So only just from the infants to the juniors, and the youngest of the juniors. And, you know, I know the boy's 14 years old and I think he is 15 this year. That's not 100%. I don't know for a fact, but I know he's 14. I got that confirmed anyway, his age. But it's just a nightmare, like. And the person I wanted to talk to today, because the right people want in, right, was like, okay, she wanted into today, which is Wednesday. I talked to her, she hasn't proper read the complaint yet, and she's going to look into it and sort it out straight away. And I told her this has happened, lost me. If they don't change buses very soon, I am going to have to go to the police. I don't really want to, because the boy has got special needs, but he shouldn't have been put in that position where he could have hit Timmy anyway, and Timmy shouldn't be in a position where he got hurt. Especially with the age gap. If they're going to pit high school and primary school together, they need to pit them in age order going away up, because there's kids on that bus are younger than Timmy as well, like in the first, like year one. So basically, I'm not happy with that at all. Very uncomfortable with him going on the bus with that boy. He's been on the bus with other boys around the same age, 14, 12, 13, 15, and they're good as gold with Timmy. Timmy looks up to older kids and adults, and they're adults, he looks up to them, not to get hurt, which Timmy's also saying, please pick me up, please pick me up. He doesn't want to go to school, he wants me to pick him up, meaning when he says that, it's both ways. Pick him up as well as taking him to school, and he's been terrified. So it's a lot more going on than what I know, but I will have to go to the police by